Yo, it's Trent. Hope everyone's having a good day, good week. Tuesday, back in Illinois, and of course, the weather fucking sucks, man. Like, absolutely horrible. I miss the 90s and the 80s and shit. Degrees, not like the fucking years, but I want the weather back, man. Anyways, I'm talking about, this blackout party, or passing out, whatever you want to call it, but I definitely blacked out. And it was this kid's house. This is interesting. I'm gonna have to explain this. So this kid, and we're gonna call him Robbie because it's close enough to his real name. Year or two older than me, honestly. I think it was 2 years older than me, but it might have just been one. And when I got to high school, freshman year, he was in my English class, right? He'd been held back once or twice, and we were reading. What were we reading? What's the one book? Fuck. To Kill a Mockingbird, maybe? We were reading something like that, bro. I think it was To Kill a Mockingbird. And he would just make jokes, dude, the whole time. Or he'd be like, you want to smoke? Or he was fun, you know? But it was only someone I saw in school. Like, it wasn't someone I was hanging out with or anything like that. But it was like, okay, if I'm going into English and Robbie's sitting in front of me, it's going to be a better class than if no one was there, you know? That type of situation. So we start talking a little more, right? And I have this friend who I'm really close with, right? And she has a friend too. And that friend started dating Robbie. So there was kind of a little like friend connection thing there. You know what I mean? Like there was a reason to be hanging out because like he knows her, I know her, it all works out, right? This girl invited us to do wave runners and like go to the lake with her family, just me and fucking Robbie. And he was like dating her, and I'm kind of just third wheeling. But shit, I was doing the jet skis and stuff like that, so I was having a great time. The wave runner, and it's same thing, but dude, that was fun. It was the best third wheeling experience of my life. And me and him would smoke a bunch, and she'd kind of just look at him like whatever, and we'd just be sitting there smoking, laughing, making jokes, still like hanging out, you know. Well, I stopped talking to him for a while because the school year ended. But I had him on Snap, and I hit him up occasionally, being like, you want to smoke, whatever, but he lived kind of far, and I didn't have a car at the time. And I don't think he had one either, but anyways, he texts me, and he's like, yo, me and my little brother, and his little brother's like a year younger than me, and they have like a 2 or 3 year difference. Like I said, I don't know how old he is exactly. And he was like, yo, we're having a party. It's going to be my friends and his friends, and then just people around, like, come through. So I'm like, bet, I'll go. And I looked to see how far it is on Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever. And it was like 35 minutes, right? And I'm like, shit. Well, I know Robbie, and I met his little brother once, but I didn't, like, know anybody that's going to be there. So I was nervous, and I need to get a ride. So I hit up this one kid who is my same age, and we played basketball together for a while at the park and shit. And I was like, yo, you want to go to a party? And he's like, yeah. So the deal was my mom, right? She was cool. She was like, hey, I'll drop you off at this party, but you got to find your way back. I'm like, hey, that's fair. That's cool. So she drops me and this kid off at Robbie's house. Oh, man. It was awesome, dude. So I was expecting just the way he lived his life, like what he was doing, hanging out, like smoking, messing around. I expected his house to just not be huge. You know what I mean? We pulled up and his house was big, like big as fuck, dude. And I was like, God damn. Like we pulled into one of those neighborhoods where there's like more lawn and like backyard than there is house. You know what I mean? Like there's spaces between the houses. It's like going to my grandpa's house. So I see that, I'm like, yo, this party is about to be awesome, man. And immediately when we walked in, and I was a freshman, so all I was used to was smoking, and I drank with people like once in a while, but it would be like us sharing a bottle of wine. Like it hadn't, like I wasn't drinking like they were drinking, you know. And I walked in, and they're already pouring up shots, and they have like beer. Obviously, I'm Robbie's friend, but also like I don't know anybody like that, and they kind of all know each other. So I'm like, I can't just bitch out when they first offer me a drink or whatever. So I think I took like a shot of tequila. It was either tequila or vodka, but I know what vodka tastes like distinctly. So, dude, that first one was so nasty. I remember I thought I was gonna throw up. And then they were like, let's make you a mixed drink, dude. And the only thing they had to mix it with was, fucking Capri Sun. Because they used all the Sprite and shit. So they mixed my drink with, like, God, I don't remember. It might have been Malibu. And then they poured some other, liquid in there. But it was definitely alcohol. I just don't know what. And then, just to give you a little peek of later in this story, eventually between like the 12 people that was there later on, they busted out the Everclear, dude. It was fucking bad. So, anyways, we're there probably an hour, and I'm already like a drunk, and it's like 9 or 10 p.m. Like, we got all night. And I remember asking when I got there, I kind of explained the situation to him. I was like, I gotta find a ride back. Can you help me out? Like, for me and my friend. He's like, yeah, for sure. And if you need to, you guys can stay over, right? We're gonna be partying tomorrow, too, but getting more supplies. I was like, God damn. In my head, I'm like, right as he said that, I'm like, I don't want to be here for the second part. Like, I'm already fucked up. So, finally, it was something I wanted to do, right? Everybody was outside and they were smoking, and that's my shit. I love smoking. So I'm standing there smoking the blunts with them, just hanging out. I felt great. And we had, like, this like, 15-person group walk around this neighborhood, dude, just smoking, and there was, like, a few other people that they knew around the neighborhood that they had come out and hang out, and it was cool. It was cool as shit. So we get back to the house, and that's kind of when that Everclear turn happened. They brought that out, and they were like, okay, let's just start firing shots off. And I'm like, I'm fucked up already. I'm little, too, and I'm younger than most of the people here. And I'm like, I don't know if I can continue. And they're like, come on, Trent, you can do it. You can do it. If anything, just pass out on the couch or pass out somewhere, Not a great influence or advice, but I took it. So I'm like, okay. And I'm not even going to try to seem cool here. I took three Everclear shots, and I was fucking out, dude. I had also drinking, like, the whole night with them, but probably only, like, 4 or 5 beers in total, because I was just sipping on the beers, but we did a lot of shots, and I'm not built or meant for shots, and that shit fucked me up. But I don't remember too much of how the rest of the night went, but I'll tell you how I woke up. What I remember was when I thought I was passing out, I was on, or blacking out or whatever, the first night, I thought I was on the couch in the living room facing the TV, like laying. When I woke up, dude, I had one sock off, and I remember the whole next day, it took me forever to find my shoes, but I woke up with one sock on in, his little brother's room on the floor with, like, God, there had to be like 4 or 5 other people in the room, and it was a big room, so there was plenty of room, but not a single, I think there was like one person using a big bed, like a queen or king size, one person in the bed, everybody else was just dead on the floor, dude, and that was me. I woke up so hungover and so thirsty, and I walked downstairs, like, trying to remember all this stuff, but also remembering yesterday when they had no water, because we'd been using everything, and I went down there, and Robbie was awake, and he had water, and he had like breakfast shit for everybody. He hadn't made it yet, but he had breakfast shit, and he had a whole like new thing of alcohol for everybody, like a bunch, like there was like 3 cases of like that apple fucking shit, like the hard cider, and then a bottle of I think it wasn't Svedka, it was whatever ones do the flavored ones, where you can get like the orange bottle, blue bottle, but it's the same brand every time. But it was vodka. And I'm so fucked up, like, in the next morning, like, not still drunk, but just hungover as shit, sitting there talking to Robbie about the night before, and I'm drinking this water, just trying to stay alive, and he's like, well, guess what? He's like, later on, when we have the second party, we have fireworks and firecrackers and stuff to blow off and look at. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll stick around for a little bit, dude. Needless to say, I said that at probably 12:30, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and I finally got picked up again by, I think it was my mom. It could have been my grandma, to be honest, Someone was in the area, though, and knew I needed a ride, and they were like, Trent, do you want a ride? And when they asked me if I wanted a ride, that was like 2 hours after we ended up doing the fireworks. So I stayed from like the one day, like 9 p.m. on, let's say, a Friday night, stayed over, hung out all day, and then left that like Saturday at like 10 or 11 p.m. Dude, when I got picked up, I was just at the point of like no return, because I remember, God, I told them, I was like, you guys can call me a bitch, you can do whatever, but I can't do more shots. I was still like if I would have even smelt just like vodka, anything straight alcohol, I would have puked everywhere. But the hard ciders, I was able to just not pound them, but I could get them down pretty quick and be fine. Except they made me piss a bunch. They made me piss so much. I get picked up, and I'm laying in the car, like, against the window, right? Pretty drunk. My grandma's like, oh, did you have a fun weekend with your friends? Like, what'd you guys do? You know, because she doesn't know me like that. She thinks I'm being all... Like, now she knows all she thinks I do is, like, nicotine and shit. Like, she doesn't know any of it, you know, which is good. That's how you want it. But she was like, what'd you guys do all weekend? I was like, just fireworks and video games, Grandma. And I'm laying on this, like, the window on my face. It felt so good, and I was just sitting there. And I passed the fuck out. I woke up. She's like, we're home. My house was, like I said, like 30, 40 minutes away, so I passed out the whole time. Got in my bed. Like, I don't know. I probably slept a good 12, 15 hours. I was dead, dude. And I remember waking up, and like after parties or after whatever, I kind of would just sit up, like, in this exact position, right? Because I'm, like, on the end of my bed right now, or the side of it. And I would kind of just sit here and breathe, just be like, make sure I'm not hungover. And I had to do that shit for like an hour then on the next day. So one day of just totally fucked up, another day of kind of fucked up, and then sleeping forever. So you gotta love that. That's a good party story. But also keep in mind, I was a fucking freshman with all these kids. So if it sounds like I wasn't doing that crazy of stuff or keeping up with them, that's why. But thanks for watching. New stories this week, of course, and games. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Oh, and go Bulls tonight. If they win, they're in the play-in. So, go Bulls. Peace.